Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books, and I'm in a different setting, and I've got different crap lighting, and today I'm going to be doing the first in a series of something I've started, and I know I start series all the time and I don't commit to them, but I am going to commit to this, and I'm still committed to my alphabet series, by the way, but that's a topic for another day. Today is the first in a series of books and braids. So quite often I get people commenting on my videos saying, oh, I wish I know how to do your braids. Well, braids are easy, guys, and I'm gonna hopefully show you. Now I say hopefully, I've only got one camera, so you can't see what's going on around the back, and you can only go by what I'm showing you on this camera. So I put out a little Twitter poll saying who wanted to see some videos about braids, and one of the options was yes, but with books, so I thought I would combine it. So today I'm going to be doing this braided, which is a Dutch braid with a plait through the middle, and then pinned up at the back, and then whilst doing that, talking about Tin Man by Sarah Winman, which is a book that I've just read. This is the proof copy, that's why there's nothing on the front, and absolutely adored. 5-star book, found it amazing. So I thought we would entitle this Books and Braids, talk about a book that I've been enjoying, and do some braiding at the same time. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if it's a pile of crap. Let me know if it actually works out all right. And we'll go back now to Lauren in the past with just hair just down by the side of her house, hair looking boring, when this is the finished result. See you then. Bye. Well, she's mighty pleased with herself with her lovely hair all done nicely. So let's get onto the braids before we start talking about the book. So rule number one about braids is that they don't always work out the way I want them to. So, God, I hope today is good braid day, and we're just going to really go for it. Now, apologies if I'm not looking at you all the time. It's because I'm looking in the viewfinder to check my hair's looking nice. I'm looking in this mirror to check my hair's looking okay, and I'm looking at you. But my heart is with you guys, and that's where it is. And also, apology about this horrific ethereal light, but this window doesn't get much light through it, and I'm having to rely on artificial light, which is why it's not beautiful daylight as we please. Bit yellow, innit? Bit yellow. So yeah, let's hope that today is a braid day and we're going to go for it. So first things first, we've got this middle parting. We don't want a middle parting for this style. We want a slightly off-centre parting. Not what I think they call in the trade a deep part, but just sort of like off-centre, somewhere between like a deep part and an off-centre part. So that's easy enough. We get a hairbrush, we brush it down like this, and then we find your deep, your not deep part that I've just told you. So I want it to be straight though, so let's do that. We're there. If you've managed this much so far, then congratulations. Already, I feel like my hair looks a lot better. Maybe I shouldn't have a centre parting so much. Who knows? So, then what we're going to do is we're going to take a chunk of hair here, which is going to create the thin plait that will run through the middle of our big plait. So this is going to take quite a long time. So this is when the book chat comes in. So all you're going to do is just plait upwards. So this is a nice long straight thin plait. So, and I'm going to try not to get arms and stuff in the way. So I do apologise if I do, but let's just get this started. I try and do it as close to the as close to my hairline as possible, and we're just going to plait through. So. Oh God, this is also when I realise how horrific my posture is. So, Tin Man by Sarah Winman. Tin Man by Sarah Winman is an amazing book that I've just finished. I've given it 5 stars. I think it's one of the best books I've read this year. I think it's one of the most heart-wrenchingly sad books that I think I've ever read. It made me feel so sad in such a it's so beautifully written, but still so heartbreakingly sad and so heartbreakingly beautiful. It's just the perfect book. I believe Simon might even have said himself that it is the perfect book. So I'll tell you a little bit about the plot. So it follows 2 chaps, Michael and Ellis, who are best friends when they're younger, and then their friendship turns into something more when they are in their sort of early adulthood, and Ellis then goes on to marry a woman called Annie, who is also very, very fond of Michael, and you find out very, very early on in the book that Annie has died. So you know that Annie is going to die, and Ellis at the beginning of the book, it's sort of split into 2 halves almost. So I'd say the first half of the book is told by Ellis, and the second half is told by Michael's diary entries on a time when him and Ellis weren't even like on speaking terms, I would say. It is just beautiful. It's one of those books that really, like, I forgot that Sarah Winman had written it. When I was reading Michael's diary entries, I actually felt as though like I was reading Michael's diary entries. It was amazing. And I can't hammer home how sad this made me. It made me, I'm just gonna, before, like, I feel like that's a really crap point to stop when I'm going, can't hammer home how sad it made me. Now what I'm going to do is put an elastic, but I am actually going to put an elastic, so just one of these like little clear elastics in the bottom of this small plait. It made me sad in a way where I was like, just one single tear rolling down my cheek. It made me sad in a way where I was like, ugh. It made me sad in the way where I just felt like my heart was breaking for these two guys that have been so well constructed by Sarah Winman. She's just done an incredible job. And let me just carry on with this before I get into subject matter. So that is our plait that is going to run down the middle of our big sort of Dutch braid. So that can go over there for the time being. Oh, actually, what I will do, so in order to attach this onto the Dutch braid, I like to put a Kirby grip through it. So I'll just show you. So I just put a Kirby grip. So there's the elastic through there, and then I just pop a Kirby grip through. She says, there we go, popped a Kirby grip through. So now that can go over there. We'll worry about that later. So now we're going to do the big Dutch braid that runs sort of down the side, and then I'm going to pin it back here somewhere. So we need to take all this front of this hair, so this bit that you've missed off when you've taken that, give it a bit of a brush through, why not, it won't hurt, as if I normally brush my hair this much, and then split it into 3, and when you're doing a Dutch braid, again, you don't need many skills for this, but you do need to know how to plait. We're going underneath, so all the messy bit is underneath. Now, I don't ever do normal plaits now, I always do Dutch braids, because they just look so much neater, and they're really not, it's just literally doing it underneath. So, as I said, 3 bits, and then go underneath. So 1 of each underneath, 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 underneath. That's 3, so I've taken each bit underneath. Now, every time I'm taking it underneath, I'm going to take a little bit from the back hair. So underneath, like that. And then a little bit from the front hair here, underneath, like that. And then that bit, a bit more. I'll turn this way so you can see a bit more. Bit more here. I've no idea how much of this you can actually see, but I'm hoping quite a lot. And then I'm just going to keep on going with that until I run out of hair close to my head, and I just have to make it into a normal plait. So yeah, just keep going like this. So there we go. So in terms of subject matter, this this book like conquers all subject matters that are I would consider difficult to conquer. So for instance, AIDS is a big subject matter that occurs in the book, Tin Man, and coming to terms with sexuality in a time when oh, I've just snapped my elastic. In a time when your sexuality wasn't necessarily illegal, but was certainly frowned upon, and depression and grief and just all the bloody tear-jerking things in the world have been like visited in this book in a really touching, sensible, beautiful way. Then you put an elastic in this hair bit here. So that's that. So we're going to do something about that. That's not going to stay like looking like that. But in the meantime, this plait here that we've just created, I'm going to pull apart a bit so it's nice and big and fat. So just do this here. So yeah, I haven't read, I've read Sarah Winman's When God Was a Rabbit when I was much, much younger, but I don't really remember much about it at all, and I wonder if maybe it was a bit lost on me, so I need to go back and visit. It was lost on me at the age and time I was reading it, so I need to go back and revisit that, because I absolutely loved her writing, and I just think to fit all of that, the characters and just all the subject matter into less than 200 pages, it's just amazing. It's just absolutely incredible. So I've pulled that braid apart a bit. As you can see, I've made it a bit fatter, which in turn makes it a bit flatter to my head. So then we bring in this guy. Shall we bring in this guy? No. So then what we're going to do, get out the way, is this guy at the end. I'm just going to make a little hole, and I'm going to, in the bottom of the plait, can you see? Yeah. And then I'm just going to scoop that guy through, which just hides the elastic. There we go. Look, you can't even see the elastic anymore. So it's a nice end to a plait, and then I'm just going to pin that bit back. This guy is getting on my wig. So I'm just going to pin him now with Kirby grips. You need Kirby grips. If I could give you two things, you need Kirby grips and you need clear elastics. But those are basically got from Primark for £1 each for thousands. You'll be finding them in your Hoover. You'll be finding them all over the house. So that is now pinned back beautifully, as you can see. Lovely stuff. There we go. And then we're going to employ this guy to... and he's got some hair in him, to run through the middle of this, and then I'm going to thread this through halfway through the plait. So line him up so he's through the middle, and then when you run out of end, use your Kirby grip as a needle. And I'm going to have to look in this mirror now because I can't get close enough on here, so I do apologise. But it's all still happening, I promise. Thread that through like this. Pop the end of the braid through, put the end of the thing through, and then just secure it underneath. So there's a lot of securing and a lot of hoping. So yeah, so there we go. So that is the plait done there. So what you can either do, you can just have it half up like that. I tend to then bring this hair round and go wild with the Kirby grips and just pin all my hair up. So you could even do it this side as well. I won't do it this side as well today because I feel like this is plenty for anyone to be getting on with. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to take my hair and just use big long Kirby grips, here we go, to attach it there. So where I get my hairstyles from, I follow a channel called Millaboo, who is much better at this than I am, and I will link her channel down below. She does a lot of braids with short hair, and also Zoella videos. Zoella did a sort of tutorial a few years ago about hairstyles, and I sort of used those hairstyles and doctored them to fit my short hair. So I think she did a French braid going into a ponytail, and I just did like French braids going into not much, and things like that. So yeah, so that's the hairstyle. Hope it's been easy to follow. I am planning on doing a few more of these. I've got a few. I'll do the space buns, and if you've seen me with braids on and you're like, oh, that's a nice braid, I wonder how you do that, do please write it down below and I'll anticipate to do it. But this is my it's almost like Game of Thrones or something, isn't it? So this is my Dutch braid with a plait on top, a small plait on top, and that is how you do it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know if it was any good. Again, sorry about the crap light, and I hope you're all having a wonderful time, and I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Bye!